What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Checked In Podcast. If you haven't already, do me a solid. Stop what you're doing. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell because, well, it'll let you guys know every time we upload. But with that being said, we have our very, very own favorite little guest back because apparently her video caused a lot of controversy and drama. And it came to my DMs as well. But with that being said, Jackie, welcome back.
Hi. Thank you for having me back.
Thanks for lighting up my life. Truly meant the world to me.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, my DMs were shining like a diamond. They were beautiful. They were just lit, dude. They were awesome.
They were great.
Yeah, they were great.
That's good.
They were great. Little cheers real quick.
Cheers.
Cheers. Martin, thank you for bringing the Jack Daniels today.
Hey, you guys are welcome.
Yes.
He
From
brought
my
us a
own
little
storage
bit.
collection, so
You have a storage
I do.
full of Jack Daniels?
What?
Of different types
Different
and various
types?
of whiskey.
Well, you
but
know, we can create
We
a bar
love whiskey. So
that's not. You're gonna lie to me? We're lying to each other already? Is that what it is here? What's going on here?
here. Did you say something else off camera?
I like whiskey.
You did, right? She did. Yeah. Did you really?
I do like whiskey.
You like whiskey?
I have old fashions a lot with my Uncle George.
Okay.
Shout out to Uncle George. Oh, it's
R.I.P.
funny. I'm having George on next Sunday. So it's just funny that you say George. Anyway, so, all right, Jackie.
Not Uncle George, right?
Not Uncle
No.
George.
My Uncle
He's more than
George-
welcome to, though.
No, he can't come. Like my Uncle George is in heaven or wherever.
Oh, right on.
Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Uncle George.
To the best food I've ever had.
Uncle George?
Yeah, he used to make some bomb steaks.
Bruh.
And then he used to do like Thanksgiving dinners were the best. Uncle George was the best. I miss
Do
him.
you have any recipes?
No, he said he'd kill me if he had to share them. So.
Mm.
But he was the inspiration as to why I wanted to learn how to cook. I used to be so excited when he used to come over and I would make like fettuccine alfredo from scratch.
Ooh.
And him
Love that.
licking the plate was a compliment for me.
Him
Like,
licking?
licking. He
Oh,
like literally
licking.
grabbed the plate and like just lick it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I was like,
Shout out to
damn,
Uncle
damn.
George. Uncle
And
George,
then my
wow.
tia Doris would be like, your Theo liked the food. He licked the plate. And I was like, damn, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Pasta, if you can make pasta, I think you can cook. That's how I see it.
I learned how to make ravioli from scratch the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah, I stuffed it with 4 cheeses.
Might have to do it to go plate one day. Just let me know.
I'll pull up.
My mic, it flew. Okay, so I wanted to get back to our previous video. For those of you that have not watched our previous video, I would highly recommend you stop. Go find that, all right? It's Jackie's, all right? I'm going to put part 2 on this one. So the
Yes.
first one, I'm going to edit it and try to put part 1 and then put part 2 for you guys can kind of keep up and stuff. So if you haven't watched that, stop watching this one. Go watch that and then come back to this, and I'm assuming everything will make sense unless we get off track and
Get sidetracked
and
with
yeah,
Gordon.
Yeah. Shout out to Gordon.
Gordon.
Gordon is our local sheep. He's here. He has a sibling,
Blake.
Blake.
We named him Blake.
So Blake and Gordon.
Yes.
Apparently, 'cause I never named them. So Pao, if you're watching this,
I
Blake and
hijacked the sheep.
Blake
Sorry.
and
I
Gordon.
mean, to be fair, I haven't confirmed with those names because that's not.
Oh, that's right, Martin, my guy. Those sheep are
Martin.
yours. They're
Yeah.
your.
he couldn't even remember
They're
the
in my
name though.
possession now.
Yeah, they're in his possession apparently. So.
No, but he couldn't remember the name, so he lost custody because he couldn't remember the name.
I do remember their name.
Allegedly.
I feel like I'm on a show right now, like a Jerry Springer, maybe.
You're holding on to-
Maury. There you go. We're on Maury right now. Look at this.
Oh my god.
Here, hold
Just
on.
chasing him with
that
the
right
camera.
there is cookies, and then this is cream over here, the white one.
Child support.
No.
On
Gordon
both
and
of them.
Blake.
Okay. Well, you can agree to
So
disagree.
Blake and Gordon.
Yes.
Gordon and Blake.
Yes.
So Gordon,
Gordon.
Blake.
And
Blake.
Okay, so how do those names come through? Because there has to be a reason why.
Okay, so I was at Target and I saw this little shark with a bow tie, a squishmallow, and his name was Gordon. And I was like, and everybody that knows me knows I love great white sharks. That is my favorite animal.
Really?
Yeah, and it's so funny
interesting.
because yesterday at breakfast, my dad was joking around about how, like, you know, in first grade, they make you draw, like, what pet you want. And I drew a great white shark.
You want that as a pet?
Yes.
You're wild.
I was in first grade, and my dad, like, they went to open house or whatever. And the teacher's like, you see how everyone wants chickens, dogs, cats. Your daughter wants a great white shark. And then my dad's like, yeah, that's my kid.
You're like, yeah, very, very easy to point her out of everybody. Well, that's good though. I mean, a great white, very beautiful shark. Very scary.
Little sharkinator.
Very fucking scary. But yeah. Have you ever seen those videos where people go, Yeah, with
Yeah,
the shark.
and-
Is it called shark diving? What is it with the cage?
Cage diving.
Cage diving with
Yeah.
yeah. But there's some guy did it with a clear cage. It was like plexiglass, but like a thick one. And the great white really got some speed and went up and like flipped it. And he fell out. Yeah, very
That is
scary
scary.
stuff. That's why I stay away from the ocean.
The ocean is so creepy to me. But I've actually swam with sharks in Cancun. But they were the tiger. No, they were the
Non-killing ones for you.
yeah, the one that
Okay.
had like no teeth. They're like catfish sharks or something like that. They look like catfish but bigger. I don't know what the official name
Interesting.
is.
I don't know. Okay.
And then the water in Cancun is super salty, so don't drink it.
Is it really super salty?
Yes. I was like drowning and I like had some in my mouth. I was like, oh, why would I do that? But I was like drowning, so
You were drowning. So you took it. Okay. All right. Okay.
I took the L, guys.
Yeah, no, I think the craziest one is when we went to Hawaii.
Oh, I wanna
And
do
I think this is the thing that got me. So we went snorkeling, and the guide told us, he's like, look, when you're going to know the difference between where you need to be and where you don't need to be. And he said it, he goes, once you start feeling cold, you're really going far away from the group, and make sure you come back. Because when you're snorkeling, you're just looking in the water. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You're just swimming
done that.
around. Sometimes you follow a fucking fish when you shouldn't be following a fish.
Yeah.
They highly recommend you not to follow a fish. They highly recommend it because the fish will lead you to a place you don't want to go. So I'm swimming, right? Nice and warm. Hawaii's beautiful. And then I start to get this cold feeling, this cold sensation. And then I look up, dark blue sea. And I look back, all clear. I'm like, oh no, I'm fucking calming myself back because I don't want to panic. I'm like, nope. Fucking great white shark gonna pop out of nowhere and be like, oh, what's cracking? I'll be like, nah, you're
Bruce?
Jackie's homie? No, I'm good. I'm good.
Bruce?
Oh, Bruce from Finding Nemo?
Yes.
Fish or friends, not food. But my boy wanted to devour Dory. Pause. Wait a minute. We're talking about a child's movie, guys. So get your head out of the gutter. Thank you. But yeah, okay. So getting back to the little situation, well, not so much little, but the situation that we spoke on, right? The
Domestic
DV
violence?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. The whole little case that you had. So there was some little issues, some little dramas.
Wait, before we start, how long has this been going? Like
For-
the timing
for a couple.
for a couple minutes, right? More
Yeah.
than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it just reset it.
You reset it,
No, I think it just reset.
Well,
Because it only says 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
but
I
it's
don't know.
still recording.
It's still recording.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
We'll
go
fix
from
it.
there. We'll go
Okay,
from
just
there. It's
making
no
sure.
problem, no worries. I'm sure the camera over here picked up something
Oh,
too.
I hope so.
So I'm hoping
Probably.
it transfers. So if it didn't, and you're starting from here, you missed a really good conversation
About sharks.
about sharks.
yeah.
Yes,
Do you want to
about
pull
sharks.
up the DV forms? We
If-
can go into detail about those too if you want.
The DB forms.
No, the DV, like the types of DV. Like, you know how there's the
Can you look 'em up,
financial,
Martin?
psychological.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties with our internet at the moment. So Martin's going to go ahead and look it up on his phone, and we're going to go ahead and have Martin give us the different types of domestic violence, if that's okay, Jackie.
That's totally fine.
All right, awesome. Well, to start it off, I know I'm sure you've got a lot of backlash on it. right?
Actually, I'm very surprised.
Did you get like really bad backlash, or did you get like simple
I only
backlash?
had like 2 people who were like not okay with
Mm-hmm.
my video.
Which was the person in question?
The alleged person
Uh huh.
and a member of their family, you
Mm-hmm.
can say. But I have had an outstanding support from this. Like, it was
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
crazy.
good.
I had a lot of women DM me, message me, like text me. And I feel so bad because people were like, hey, I was being chismosa, or like they're being nosy. And it's like, no, you're not being nosy. Like, I put this out on the internet. Like, this is for everybody to know.
Educational purposes. too,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the purpose of this was not to like, you know, like shit on him or
Mm-hmm.
anything, because unfortunately, like, I have, you know, children with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this is, for me, this was more like of a healing experience because I don't want another woman to go through this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want another woman to like be like, oh, I'm stuck, I can't get out. And like, I got out because I was blessed that I have a good support system. I got out for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want my daughters growing up and seeing their mother miserable and seeing their mother like basically hate life and then feel like this is life. Like, there's no happiness, like there's no real shot of it, you know? And that's the reason why I got out. I got out because I didn't want my daughters to feel like they're stuck somewhere and there's no way out, you know? And that's the main reason why I like wanted to put this out there, because I want women to be like strong enough to know that, you know what, like it may take some time, but you can get out.
Right.
And it unfortunately took some really like life or death situation scenarios to like make me realize that life is short. Like with the loss of my aunt and uncle, like life was short. I never expected that. Like my parents had retirement plans with them, and they were like another set of grandparents to my kids. So like that situation happening made me realize life is short, and I could literally die at any moment. And what am I gonna show for it? Like my kids are gonna be like, well, my mom hated life. My mom was so unhappy. Like that was not a happy marriage. Like that could even traumatize, because I've heard people who have had parents that stood together and bickered and like had an unhappy marriage, and those kids grow up and they say like, well, my family was like dysfunctional, very unhappy marriage. I never want to get married. I never want to have kids. I
Right.
never want to do X, Y, and Z. And I think that's sad, and I don't want to rob that from my daughters.
Okay, all right. I respect two things here. One, I do respect the parents that stuck it out and like really did it for their kids, but I also have to really sit there and just kind of like look at the kids and give them some respect too, because they went through that and then they looked at it in a different. Some people might look at it as like they stuck it out, they're good. Some might take it the other way and say, hey, I'm gonna stick it out with my partner through thick and thin, and some might not, right? Some might look at it as you're saying, but there are parents like that will stick it out for their kids, and then once they get older, I think the most common trend is once they hit college and they go away or they go wherever they're going, they kind of split. Because
Right.
at that point the kids are out of the house, and then they're like, all right, well now.
But
it's
that's
time
also
for us to-
detrimental to the children, because
That's true. That's
they're
true.
they're experiencing a whole new life far away, and now they feel like, oh snap, I can't lean back on my parents for support because my parents split.
Right. Yeah, I
And they're
get that.
going through it, and then it's kind of like, who do I pick sides here?
Right.
When you painted a perfect picture. And
that's
you
a
know,
good point.
like,
That's a good
I'm not
point.
going to paint a perfect picture. Like, I know I'm not the perfect person, but I tried.
Right.
I tried everything I could to salvage my family.
Right.
I talked to him. I told him, I need you to change X, Y, and Z. I'm tired. I need you to like step it up. And you know, if he didn't want to, or whatever his thought process of that was his decision. I did what I could in my end to let him know that I'm not happy, and I need you to make X, Y, and Z changes for us to be happy. And if he couldn't meet those expectations, I wasn't gonna stick around either.
Right.
I wasn't gonna stick around and show my daughters that you had to be in a loveless marriage. Because like honestly, I feel bad. Like he had prior children, and my thought process was like, I don't want those children to feel excluded because they're not biologically my children, when I want to give the best to my children.
Right.
So my thought process for this was, I need you to step it up for your children to have equal as my children, because I can't pull all 4 children by myself.
Right.
I couldn't do it. It was like, it's not like I'm getting like a sick job or like I'm a self-made millionaire type of thing, because I'm pretty sure the circumstances would have been different.
Right.
But like at that point, I know what I wanted to give my daughters. I spent 8 summers in Peru visiting family, traveling. I've been to Machu Picchu. I've been to different states. Like I've done a lot of things, and I had a lot of experiences that my parents were able to provide through their hard work, and I want to do the same for my kids. My daughters have been to Peru. And hopefully if things go right, my daughters will be in Puerto Vallarta next year. And that's what I want to do for my children. But I didn't want to shut his other 2 kids down because they're not biologically my kids.
Right.
Because I knew I couldn't provide, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't want those children to start like
Resenting
hating
you in a way.
or resenting me or resenting my children.
Right.
Because they're going to be like, oh, well, she doesn't care about us because we're not her children. And it's like, no, it's not that. It's like financially, I could only do so much. And if I couldn't get the help from my partner, who already came with his children, which I accepted, it was like, at that point, it was kind of like, well, my hands are tied.
Right.
It's not fair if I'm going to book a whole vacation and say, sorry, your kids can't come because I can't afford it.
Yeah, that would kind of sting a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, a
So
little bit
how
of
was that
resentment would build,
fair?
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't have been fair to those girls because those girls were innocent. They were
Right.
children. So that's why I knew I started to grow resentment towards him, because I had to limit my things with my children to be able to be equal to all 4 kids.
Damn, that's tough, dude. if you really sit there and think about it, that's tough because you're looking out for his and you're looking out for yours, and you're pretty much looking out for the family unit, which is a big thing, right? Big
Right.
step. But I wanted to get back to it really quick is that something you said, which is the resentment part of like, the kids resenting each other and stuff like that. I don't know if you said that, right?
Yeah.
For some reason in my head, when sometimes you talk to yourself in your head and you're thinking you're already in the conversation, but you're really not saying shit. That's where I was at. So, I'll give you a little personal experience is that, I guess you can say I kind of experienced that, right? The little resentment, but not so much on my end. I guess it was just more of like let's just say a spiteful lash, right? In the moment type of lash. I have a sister, which I love. My sisters are all older, and I have younger sisters and everything. I love my sisters, and so anyone that takes this out of context, please don't. So my dad went to jail, and went over to visit and stuff like that. And my sister, I don't know how we got into this discussion, but it was kind of like a little bit of back and forth of disagreement or argument. And she pretty much said like, "Oh, you only came around when it was beneficial to you," and which is what I responded, which was. I was like, no, he's never really been there for me, and I really didn't need all of that. Like, if I really wanted something, it would have just be his time. I didn't care for any of the stuff that he was buying me. He would buy me Jordans. He would buy me all kinds of stuff. Although it was cool, I was more of the cheap kind of kid that, like, my mom, not saying my mom couldn't afford all of the nicest things in the world, but she did her best. And I kind of gravitated towards that because I was like, I don't need that. That's very expensive. I gravitate to cheaper shit. So, as I wear Jordans.
I know, right?
Don't look at that right now. This is just me now, guys. But yeah, so it was kind of that. So I can kind of see where that would go if you did take those kids, your kids, and not them. And then I would see that resentment build up if it was to go longer in term and stuff like that as far as for the relationship. So I can see that. So I give you a lot of credit for that because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't look at that as well.
Well, I knew the situation was hard because I love Disneyland. We've had this conversation.
Right. We had a conversation on video, and apparently the audio decided to
not be
have
there.
other plans. So.
It wasn't my fault.
No, you weren't here, Martin. You weren't here at the time. It's not Martin's fault. It's my fault. Right? I was trying to figure shit out, and sometimes you go through trial and errors whenever you do
Technically,
stuff.
it was my fault because I wasn't here.
Yeah,
so.
you know what, Martin? It is your fault.
Yeah.
Right. It is
How
your
dare
fault.
you not
Where
fix
were
this?
you, Martin?
I'm sorry.
Where were you all my life?
Don't cry for me.
But yeah, so you
Yeah.
okay, the whole Disney thing, yeah.
So I was very upset because my oldest daughter, Valentina, was going to turn 2, and she had never been at Disneyland.
Okay.
And the reason why she had never been was because I wanted her first time at Disneyland to be with me. And it was something that we kept arguing back and forth because we couldn't afford to get like 4.
You and him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we couldn't afford the 2 adult tickets and the 2 kid tickets. And because my kids were going to be free regardless because they're little, right? And it was like a $600 one-time trip thing that we were looking at. And I was like, this is steep. That doesn't include like food, drinks, and then his children, like they were raised to be like spoiled. Their grandma and grandpa like gave them everything on the paternal side. So like obviously they would have a meltdown if they went into a Disney store and not like got something.
Right.
And
As kids normally do.
yeah, which is totally normal. Kids throw fits all the time. But that's something I didn't want to deal with because who was stuck dealing with those fits? Me.
Right.
He would just walk away. And it was so sad because I knew I was going to be stuck dealing with those fits, and I didn't want to deal with those fits when I had 2 like infant children with me. So I was so upset, and I was like, you're ruining my children's life essentially. Like you're not doing your part as a parent.
Damn, that's crazy because it would go from you to trying to figure shit out than arguing because one wouldn't want to budge or adjust or help out in a certain way.
Yeah.
To accommodate, I guess you can say, to really put into different words. Because as I'm gonna sway a little bit, but it seems like a lot of parents do go into a lot of debt to take their kids to like give those kind of experiences. Some parents, this is before Disney has now they have like a PayPal payment plan.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a payment
Yeah,
plan, but
before, you know how it was just straight up. You have to
Yeah.
just straight up. So a lot of people would go into debt and stuff like that for that, just to give their kids that experience. You get what I'm saying? So I understand maybe his perspective as not wanting to put the money in because I want to play devil's advocate here. But also, too, I see if you really wanted to do something for your kids, you would really do it because there's a lot of parents out there that would really struggle to do that. And if he didn't want to put his portion in while you were willing to do X, Y, and Z, that kind of
okay, but this is what made me mad. He did have money to go buy Gucci shoes.
damn.
He has 2 pair of Gucci shoes and he had a Gucci fanny pack.
at the time.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, you have money to go buy Gucci shoes. You have money to go buy a fanny pack. Like, that's what made me mad. It's like, where are your priorities?
I'm over here trying to play, I'm trying to play it cool, trying to play neutral, maybe see some other side.
can't do
But that
that.
right there, I didn't know. So that's a different story.
So, like, and it's so annoying because he wears these Gucci shoes, like, all the time. It's like, bro, change them, please. Change them. Like, buy something new, please.
Right.
So, like, that's what made me mad. He always had, like, the latest shoes. Like, he had Pandas way before any of the kids got Pandas.
Oh, this is when they were hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then, if you guys are not aware, Pandas
Were like
the ones-
$320.
Yeah, the ones that she currently has on were very expensive because they were very limited.
Yeah.
At some point, now you can get them anywhere. But before, when the hype was real, you would even have people buying fake ones.
Yeah,
to have
and
Pandas.
people were like literally raping people with the prices.
That's true.
They were like what $100 and something shoes, and they were selling them for like $350.
Yeah, I remember I bought a pair of those high tops for $220 because they were so in demand, and it was for, I believe, a Christmas gift. And I was like, "Fuck, all right, it's my choice. I got this," So
Yeah.
I paid that, and then 6 months later, they were just out there everywhere. I was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry.
So that's what I was mad. It was like his priorities weren't set. So the thing was like, I'm all about giving children experiences because this is a one time in their life that they're going to remember everything and be like, damn, I had a good childhood. So like maybe I can do better. Right? So that's my thing. So that year, thankfully, I have a supportive family. My grandmother gave me her credit card, and we charged $7,000 for Disney passes. So we had
That's insane, bro.
yeah. So we bought the $1,600 Disney pass because they were $1,600 at that time.
Whoa.
So yeah. So I bought one for me.
$7,000 for Disney, bro.
And
I'm
then
sorry, I'm gonna fight back a little bit. What?
So I thought
That's a lot, dude.
okay, so this is my thing. My children are free, and this is a time I can take advantage of taking my kids to Disneyland unlimited. So if I bought me a pass, of course he wanted a pass,
Right.
because I couldn't go
So that's
anywhere
already,
without him.
2,000-3,000 right
Yeah,
there.
but then how am I going to take my kids to Disney like once, twice a week and not take his kids?
So the tickets themselves were $1,600 each. The
pass for the whole year, right?
Right. So
With-
why was it $7,000?
Because we bought 4. So
the
there
other
was
two?
16. So it was his children because there were over
Oh, that's
3.
Right.
So it was his 2 kids. It was me
This is all
and
for
him.
1 year.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then that was the
it's a
thing.
Honda Civic.
So that's the thing. Like, I knew I was
yes,
going to go to
sorry.
Disneyland. I knew that I was going to take my kids minimum once a week because she knows. She knows I do that. So
Oh, for those of you that don't know who she knows, okay, this is
my
her
best friend Adriana.
Oh, I thought she was like complimenting J. Cole.
Oh, J. Cole
No.
or somebody. Someone
knows.
over there.
Sorry, she knows. No, but that was the thing. I spent $7,000 on passes because my grandmother lent me her credit card, and the deal was that he was gonna pay them back monthly, like if we were making the monthly payments. And he wasn't. So obviously, who didn't want to hear it from grandma? Me. So who was making those payments? Me. Who was paying the rent? Me. And then
Question. I'm just gonna ask because I'm sure they probably gonna ask because I'm curious myself. But he agreed to it, or was it something that you threw on to him?
he agreed to it.
He agreed to it. All right.
He
cool.
agreed to it because this was my thing. It was like, I'm gonna buy me a
Hey,
pass.
I know you guys were gonna ask, so I just want to clarify it. So,
So this is the
bada
thing.
bing.
I'm gonna get me the pass, and I'm taking my kids. You want to be part of that experience? You could buy yourself a pass, or you can buy yourself a day pass.
Yeah, because that's the thing too. Like your kids were under the age requirement before they get a pass, so it was technically his kids that needed the passes.
And who was stuck paying that?
You
Me.
Yeah.
So and
Some
then,
are gonna say, "Well, it was your idea."
but okay, so what was I gonna do? Like, hey, kids, sorry,
true,
you guys
yeah.
are not my kids, so you guys can stay home.
That's good. I
And
see.
like,
This is why I wanted you to explain it because I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
And now you're giving me the perspective that they might be like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
yeah. So I didn't want to do that. So that year, my daughter Daniela turned 1, and I made reservations for Goofy's Kitchen. I took the entire.
What is that exactly? Can you give me a breakdown for that? What is
Goofy's
what is
Kitchen is like a restaurant. It's a buffet style.
Oh.
Inside the Disneyland Hotel.
Okay,
The
okay.
characters come out, like the chipmunks come out, Minnie, Mickey.
dope.
Goofy is like in a chef uniform.
My
You take
birthday is
pictures.
next year, Martin.
In
Wait,
March.
okay,
March.
what do you want me
We
to do?
might just do some.
If you guys
Goofy
do
Kitchen.
that,
If
if you
it's
guys
only-
do that, invite me.
If
Please.
it's only me and you, I'll be willing to go.
It's only
Wow, Martin, you're trying to
sorry.
exclude me?
Yeah, I mean,
Martin, whatever.
I can't say no to
it's
Martin.
expensive. It's like $100 for a plate.
No, it's
Really?
not.
Yes,
It's
how much is it?
$60 per person.
That's
Wait,
gasoline
how
right
long
there.
ago was this? Because Disney's taxing now.
Yeah, it
This
went
was
up.
a
I think
year
Disney, when I
ago.
went to Disney, bro,
I think it's like
parking was
$80 now.
$15, bro. Now that shit's 30 something.
Yeah, it's
so
30
they are
bucks.
for sure. They're out here, no lubing people, just parking. All right.
Okay, wait. So I took the entire family. I took his mom. I took his 2 kids.
Mm-hmm. You paid for
Obviously, no, we all
The
split it.
mom?
My
Okay,
mom,
okay.
he paid out of our bank account. We paid for his mom. His sister got a job at and she was able to help us financially a
cool.
little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, that's
And then my parents helped us with the bill because we were celebrating Daniela's first birthday. But later on that day that we went in as a group, I had booked the experience at Bibbidi Bop Boutique or whatever, where they dress kids as a princess because his youngest kid was turning like 5 or 6. So I gave her the full experience where they did her hair, they put
Oh,
on
you
a
gave them core
princess
memories.
dress, they took pictures in a carriage, they took pictures with like a fake bunny that was like a little bit twice the size of this. There's like a horse. She took a picture next to a fake horse and everything. So I did all that for her.
It sounded right. That's what I'm saying. It sounded like you said horse. That's why I was said horse.
Horse.
I wanted to
It is
clarify it.
A
you know?
horse, caballo.
What Disney did you
horse.
go to?
Yeah,
I'm trying
I
to go that way.
know. Was it out in Nevada or something? Yeah, bro. But I just wanted to make sure because they did sound like that. And she laughed too because
Yeah,
I'm like, yo,
I
see, we both heard that,
Un
right?
caballo.
Yeah. So,
So-
you essentially you were giving them the experience.
The core memories.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's exactly something I would have booked for my daughter at that age. So why was I
So
gonna?
nice of you.
So why would I like neglect or reject a child because they're not biologically mine from something like that? It didn't make any sense to me.
Correct.
So I was like, and you know what? Those kids were very included in my family because my family would take them to lake trips. My family would take them to like Vegas. My aunt and uncle from Vegas, they loved those kids. Like they had a hammock. They put the kids in the hammock. They go play with their dog, Koopy, and everything. And it was crazy. Like those kids were literally adopted into my family and loved like they were my children. So
That's really good though. Shout out to your family because a lot of families don't do that shit.
yeah, they
So
don't.
shout out to them. That's nice.
And that's one thing that like bothered me was like, okay, you see everything I do to function this family and make this family go around, and you just don't care because you're too busy wanting to be on TikTok. You're too comfortable making like the bare minimum. And like Adriana could attest to this. He even told Adriana one time, he's like, I don't want to make a lot of money because I put up a dealership for him under my name and I gave him money cash over like 15K cash to start buying and flipping cars, and he didn't want to do nothing with it, went to waste. But he even told Adriana like
Jesus.
he told Adriana like, hey, I don't want to make a lot of money because it's gonna get to my head and I'm gonna change, right? Like he really did. He had no motivation in life. My mother built us a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom
That's crazy.
home
Yeah, I just
from
want to stay broke
scratch.
forever, just fucking be miserable.
All right.
Just
We're,
saying.
we're talking a lot of shit here. Is there one thing that you can say nice about him?
He was good at being a handyman. Like he'd fix stuff,
Okay,
you know.
all right,
Like he'd fix
okay,
stuff. Like he
all
put
right.
some cool LED lights behind my
All
TV.
right, hey,
That's
see,
cool.
bro, see?
Shout out, thank you,
Yeah, bro.
thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
Because
what
now
my
that I
5-year-old
have
should do.
movie nights,
Yeah, you
my
see?
friends enjoy that. Thank you.
See, bro. All right.
It's not all bad.
Okay, all right.
You know,
We
gotta
got some
boil
nice
water,
things.
just
No, he
Good
couldn't do
hand.
that. He couldn't do that. He
All
burned an
right.
egg. So
You
no.
burned it?
He burned an egg.
Hey, it happens. It happens, bro.
No, but
sometimes-
like he was good at being a handyman. Like, he put like LED lights. Like he had really cool ideas. He wanted to do a
I'm gonna stop you real
Bluetooth.
fast. Again, guys, for those of you that are new, we are in downtown Los Angeles, so sometimes you are gonna get those sirens, those noises, those homeless people screaming, and you're gonna get a
Zombies.
little bit of this, So
I'm gonna get a little light.
So it's not your neighborhood that's ghetto, it's mine. Okay? So just kind of keep that into perspective. But okay, so he was a handyman.
Yeah.
know,
And
that's
like
cool.
he was cool at fixing cars except when he disconnected my car so I wouldn't go anywhere. But like if I had any
fucking
problems
shady.
with my
Yeah, bro.
cars, like I knew he could fix it. Like oil
Mark,
changes,
can I bother you
I
for a
didn't
water,
worry.
Papa?
You want water?
Yeah.
Please, can I
Sure,
can I
Dad.
bother you for what? Thank you.
So he would fix that. Like he'd fix the cars. I didn't have to worry about oil change or filling up gas or anything, or even putting like pot lights or whatever. Like, cause he liked to do the off-roading stuff.
Thanks, brother.
So then that was, So it was kind of like, all right. I mean, I'm not gonna say all of it was bad because it wasn't all bad. it was just like you really get to know somebody when you have children with them, and that's so unfortunate.
I think a lot of people go through that.
Yeah. So like in the beginning, he was like perfect. So like I said in the first episode, in the beginning, I was pregnant by another man, and he was like, "Hey, I'm willing to step up. Like, give this kid my last name. I'll raise this kid." And I was like, "You're a little weirdo. Are you like a serial killer or something?" Like my family and I were like, "That's kind of weird."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, like I just really like you. Like you're perfect type of thing, whatever." And like I was like, "Oh my god, Prince Charming," you know. And and I lost the baby. Unfortunately, I almost died in that process too. And I felt obligated to give this man a chance because he was there for me when I had like a low period in my
But
life.
you did say that he was at a vulnerable time. That
Yeah, and he was there, so it was kind of like, ooh, I felt bad and I felt obligated to kind of give him a shot or try to make things like function.
But over time, I'm sure there was some form of love, obviously, because you have 2 kids.
Honestly, no.
But you have 2 kids, though.
I have 2 kids because let me tell you why. Hold on.
Okay,
so
well, okay.
I don't feel like there was a point in love because the first time I remember we were in my driveway at my mom's house and he leaned in for a kiss and I was kind of grossed out. I didn't want to kiss him, and I know.
Bruh.
I don't know why. I wasn't really into him like that.
But you know, the whole internet's going to be like, bro, you have 2 kids.
Yeah, I
You
have 2 kids.
So there has to be something.
So the fact that I felt because he played the daddy role that he was a good dad to his 2 kids. So that's what
So that kind of like warmed you and buttered you up or what?
that was kind of like, okay, if he's a good dad to those 2 kids, so if I have kids with him, he's gonna be a good dad to my kids.
Right.
So that's kind of what I was looking for. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna have kids with a man, I want them to be a present father, like be an active and a good dad. And then Lord and behold, you guys, not the story.
Right.
So it was
he gave you that front.
yeah.
Okay.
So obviously that's the reason why I had kids. Like, I mean, women have kids for various reasons, to trap men or to like use them as cash cows or whatever, like to get child support and stuff.
Women don't really have it hard in this world. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm going to say it. You guys really don't. I'm
Really?
going to say it. We'll get into that conversation later.
Really?
But I'm going to tell you right now.
It
they really don't.
depends
Yeah, I really
on what
don't.
situation, but I think women
There's
have it
women
hard.
out there that are making $50K a week on OnlyFans right now. I don't want to hear it, Martin. I don't want to hear it. Don't give me that look.
I'm
don't
agreeing
wanna
with
I'm
you.
giving you
Oh,
that
yeah.
look.
Women be getting
agreeing
the
with you, man.
craziest deals in the courtroom. Women be, bro.
Not even, because you know what? Some
Bro,
women get fucked
the
over.
shit we can get into, bro. I've watched videos and like read up on so much stuff, bro, that I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I think men have it harder in this world than women do.
We do.
I really do think so. I honestly do believe it. And I'm not
No,
trying to be
okay,
biased here.
you wanna
but
know
based
why?
off the shit that I've seen and read, I believe it.
Well,
Okay,
now,
Martin-
it
Martin
depends-
knows as a parent.
I mean, it depends on like what are you trying to lean on? Like,
Okay,
as far
but-
as trying to be a dad to your kid.
Well, let me put
Well,
it
Martin, as a parent, you know how hard it is to be a parent, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, obviously, because you're with your kid all the time.
Well, let's move past the parent
so,
part, though.
No, hold on. So, being a parent and having to have your kid 24/7 and worry about childcare when you have to go do your job for 8 hours and come back and still feed your kid is enough of a worry and a stressor.
believe it. I believe
right?
it. But-
okay, but when you don't have a supportive parent or co-parent relationship in that
partner,
end, it gets very hard and problematic.
believe that.
Women are stuck with their children all the time because it's the norm in society. Poor mother, she abandons her children and cannot
That's
take
true.
care of her
I can
kids.
see that. Okay, I can see
Okay?
that.
If
Wait.
I were to get up right now and abandon my kids, everybody in the world is going to be like, wow, what a shitty person.
that's true.
She brought these kids
100%.
into life and then she abandoned them because she can't do it. She should have thought about that before having those kids.
Devil's advocate now, all right? You ready?
Right?
You ready? Okay, all right. As an adult, you made a decision. That decision, you knew you were not in love with somebody, all right?
Right.
You knew you were not there with that person physically, but you made that happen too, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So some people may not have that sympathy or that little, no, I don't buy it type of look, all right? Because
Mm-hmm.
there was some comments of people talking mad shit or whatever. But what I'm trying to play here is, I personally feel that guys have it a little bit more difficult. Yes, girls do have it difficult. Not trying to take that away from anybody because both genders have their own, I guess you could say difficulties, right?
Right.
So women on average get played more than men do, right?
Right.
That's how I would see it because women, whenever a woman opens up, this is why when a girl cheats, fellas, there was a lot of play in there, all right? It wasn't just, it just happened. Don't believe that shit. All right, because women are very emotional creatures, so women has to invest emotion into that. Okay, remember that, fellas. All right, now, ladies, guys cheat just to cheat. guys just got a dick, and whenever a guy can get an opportunity, he's gonna use it. Okay,
Right.
because women can literally post. Let me put an example. Women can post online, say any guy available today because I have needs. The DMs are gonna be flooded. A guy does that. What a fucking weirdo.
Right.
What a this? What a that? Why?
What a soft.
What a
man.
soft, right? Whatever the case may be, right? So the reason why I'm saying that girls have it easier is because
Right, we can have sex easier.
not just that, but what I'm saying is a pretty girl, even an average, maybe even a 4, bro, even a 4 girl can have a partner come to them because there's guys out there that are looking for a female partner, but guys, they can't do that. Guys have to like really, really try to either better themselves financially, physically, try to fucking be funny, try to be everything that they can be to at least for a girl to be like, okay, he's suitable in some way, shape, or form,
Story of my life.
right? There is a lot of lonely guys out there, more than there is girls. Now, granted, there might be, by population, there might be more girls. Okay, you might get me there. But what I'm saying is that there is a lot more lonelier guys than there is girls. Girls can easily find love, in my personal opinion. Now,
I
there's a
don't
lot of
think
girls that are
so.
picky, right? Oh, he has to be a certain height. He has to have a certain smile. He has to look a certain way. He has to make X amount of money. He has to do something,
Right.
right? As far as for a guy, it's like, dude, if you can fucking, that's why the basic needs of the guys always talk about cooking, just being peaceful and just being cool. That's why a lot of guys just look for the most basic shit. Women, on the other hand, look for a lot of qualities, which I don't blame them because that's your forever partner. You want to make sure you're taken care of along with your kids. I get that. Respect it. Because if not, shit can get difficult. I get that. All right. Sometimes
Right.
guys are really good at lying and really BSing shit.
I know that. Hello.
Right?
That's how I
why-
ended up with
that's
2
why-
kids.
That's why I'm
now
saying
I'm a
it.
single mom.
That's what I'm saying it.
Yeah.
But and a lot of people put a lot of like a negative stigma on women for being single moms. Sometimes it's not their fault. Sometimes it is the other partner's fault. Sometimes that partner can switch up. Like you said, sometimes they can put a persona up and then when shit gets real, I'm out. I don't want to deal with this, right? There's a
Right.
lot of guys like that, but there is also women like that. But there's a lot of women out there too that are very shady and all that. But my whole point to this was that I truly believe that women have it easier in this world than guys based off of just how society sees women, right? That's how I see it. That's just how I see it because women can really do anything they want, get into any positions they want, anything really, as long as you are, I guess you could say, a little bit outgoing, a little bit, you know what I mean? Even a pretty smile can get you a long way. As far as for a guy, kind of too, like pretty people can have a better advantage too. Let's just be honest. Pretty people have more of an advantage. Than
Well,
some
look
other
at that
people, but-
inmate guy who went to jail and now is like a model and married
Yeah,
a rich
see?
girl.
Right? Pretty guy, handsome guy, right?
I don't think he was
handsome
handsome, but
dude.
he had nice eyes.
Right. Okay. He had nice eyes. He was really popular for that. But what I'm saying is that's a very small majority. There's videos out there that'll tell you what's the type of guy that you're looking for, and then they will narrow it down and they'll give you the percentage of them out there in the world. And as far as for girls, right?
It's a whole
It's a
freaking
whole
list.
freaking different story. Girls can really have anyone that they want.
They could.
They really can. Guys, this is why they say, how's that saying go, Martin? I think you know it better than I do. It's like a master key or something like that with a girl. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's like a girl's literally the one that allows a guy in. A guy can't force his way in because that's illegal, fellas. Don't do that. All right, don't fucking do that. But a girl is the one that's in charge. That's why most people
Pussy
out
is
there,
power.
Yeah, pussy is power. That's why a lot of guys or even other girls don't have sympathy for certain stories or certain things because they look at it as like, well, you allowed it to happen, right? Okay, but I'm fucking sidetracking now. But anyway, I just wanted to say that
Put it
I
like
feel
this.
like in life, girls have
Ever
it
since you had
harder.
your kids, how many times has a guy been in your DMs
On a
after your
regular,
breakup
right?
with baby daddy?
Way too many.
Okay.
And I'll give you this.
Even with baby daddy, they were still in the DMs. Even with my baby daddy, they were still trying to like, with him including the
Dog.
picture.
But I'm saying like after you announce like, oh, I'm not with this guy no more, whatever. You know,
It went-
how,
it went
how
up
many
times
would you
12,
say? Yeah,
right?
how many times did you get DM'd, and how many times did you go out with people?
I just want to let you know that my Instagram is a very open Instagram.
No,
in
you're a
the
very
sense-
open person.
You're not
though.
answering my question.
And this is why I'm gonna tell you this. I've had like maybe 2-3 friends that have my Instagram login, and because you know what, like whatever, I'm a girl's girl. I'm gonna say that I'm a girl's girl. They needed to do their research, and obviously you can tell a fake profile from a fake profile. Mine is very real because I post on my stuff, like everything I do, right? And the amount text messages I used to get from these girls telling me like, dude, your Instagrams are so overwhelming. Like, how do you do it? How are you so overwhelmed? And it's like, it's easy. I just open and then swipe out and leave it on scene. Like, that's how it is for me. I'm a very busy person. And yes, my DMs are flooded. There's men in my DMs that like literally DM me saying, let me put a ring on it. Let me wife you up. And I'm like, you're such a weirdo. Like, don't, please.
But
Okay,
You know?
now
it kind of proves the point.
And now exactly. And
Kinda
now
proves
for
the
me, I've been a single parent
Sahara.
for 2 years.
Fucking Sahara, Martin. Say
My
it.
shit is drier
Dry.
than the desert.
See what I'm saying?
And the thing is, it's I'm okay with it. I'm
Yeah.
fine. You know,
I'm fine with my
I'm
DMs
fine.
being dry.
you know, but,
But they're not. That's the problem, Jackie. That's what he's trying to say, and that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I say.
I can't
two different-
relate.
Girls really have it easy.
You
though.
guys have it easier as far as to find someone else.
Oh, way.
Oh yeah, way easier.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
right now, if I were to be like, yeah, I'm single, I'm pretty sure like my DMs would like drown right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like
I'm pretty sure.
a lot of men would be like, let me take you out on a date, or be like, look at this cool stuff I have. Do you want to date me? And it's like, no, I don't have time. Like
See, the DMs are flooded though.
You see,
the
yeah,
DMs
for me,
are
it would be
flooded.
the
But have you
opposite.
seen me though? Have you seen me? I mean, I'm a pretty girl and I know
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
to be cocky or anything because I'm pretty down to
Confident,
earth.
confident,
I am
yeah.
confident, but I know I'm a pretty girl. I know that my ass unfortunately attracts a lot of attention, and I understand that. Like,
It's an unfortunate, fortunate thing.
I
would
mean,
say.
you know what? It's unfortunate because as a woman who can offer more to a man and something in his life, like I know how to cook, I know how to maintain a household, I know how to clean, I know how to do laundry. Like I know I'm a very versatile person. And I went to school. I have a bachelor's degree. I have a job. I have a good job. Like I put my kids in private school and like I'm doing the best I can as a single mom to provide better for my children. And I know what I can bring to the table. I would make a man's life better because I know I can do that. I know I have that power to better a man's life. And because I have an ass and because of the way I look and because I am pretty, people automatically assume I'm dumb. They think like, oh, this girl, she's a good time. And it's like, yeah, I could be fun. But there's more to me. And because of my ass, my curves, of the way sometimes I like to dress and go out when I go to concerts and stuff, like I know guys look at me and sexualize me off the bat. And that was the main reason why I ended up with my baby daddy, because he didn't sexualize me off the bat. He made it feel like he could see me as a person. And that is what was like, okay, you're cool. That's different. But I still don't like you because he was not my type. And the reason why he wasn't my type is because he was like a paisa. Like he liked that Mexican music. I'm not Mexican. So he was really like...
For those of them that don't know, what are you?
Uh-huh.
For those of us that don't know, what are you?
I'm Peruvian Guatemalan.
Awesome. Okay, go
So
ahead. Sorry, continue.
that's why I was like not very exposed to the Mexican culture. Like the most basic thing I knew was like there was like bomb food and tacos and King Taco. That was pretty much it.
Okay,
You
okay.
know?
I'm just happy you didn't say Chipotle. Fuck that. That's not real.
But
Right.
and not to discredit Mexican culture because I love Mexican people. My kids are half Mexican.
Yeah, as a Mexican
So-
sitting in front of you, of course.
Yeah, so like, oh my god, that's all you find in LA. Let's be real. So,
I mean, you
we
like
are
Hispanic guys.
We are near the border, dog. We're
yeah,
right
exactly.
here. You feel me?
That's
We're
how
right
I
here.
But I
mean-
love the Mexican culture, and you know what? Props, shout out to the Mexican president that's deporting Americans back to America for not having the proper visas to stay in Mexico. You go, girl. But still,
I didn't even know. Actually, I kind of did know that, but I didn't realize that she actually.
Oh,
pulled
how the
trigger.
turntables.
yes, and
Right.
you know what? I love it. I love that. Good for them. Good for
everybody,
Mexico.
Everybody
You know?
should do it. Everybody
So,
should do it.
but this is my point. And
That's
my
gonna get
point
into a
was
different
like,
conversation,
he was not my type. Like, my type was kind of like the whitewash thing, Because that's how I grew up. I'm whitewashed. Like, I am Hispanic. Hello, Peruvian, Guatemalan. But I do talk like a whitewashed person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because
Cali
I'm...
accent.
Huh?
That's that Cali accent.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm embarrassed of my culture. Like I said, I spent summers in Peru. I've been to Machu Picchu. I've never been to Guatemala because, like, I don't know. I
I've
just
never been
been.
to Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Machu
You gotta catch them, though.
Picchu.
I know, just fucking with you.
Whatever.
I've never been to
Yeah.
It's one of the
Picchu.
7 wonders, and I just want to let you know that
It's not that
Peru.
wonderful, she said.
It's not that wonderful.
Just
yeah.
kidding.
You're a
We're just
hater.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't come at me.
I just want to let you know that Peru has been voted as the #1 ceviche in the entire world. Okay, so
Well, their ceviche is different from
from the Mexican,
ceviche,
yeah,
so-
definitely, 100%.
So It's like saying me and Eric.
I'm not really a big ceviche guy, but I believe it.
I'm just proud to be Peruvian. Okay.
All right.
I do like your guys' like pollo asado con arroz.
Wait, are you guys the pupusa
roaster
people?
boy. No, that's
okay.
El Salvador.
Okay.
Wait, what?
El Salvador is the
question?
pupusa people.
peoples?
Oh yeah. That's
And you know what? It's so funny
wrong.
because like my aunt and
They
uncle.
get very controversial about that food. I don't want to talk about it online. My DM's gonna be like, "What'd you say?" Nah, I'm just kidding.
We
You know
love
what?
our people.
I have half
Yeah.
Salvadorian family in my family, so I grew up
They
like
talk fast, right?
What?
Salvies.
Yeah. Oye, me cojan llamada. That's what they talk?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Hondurans
bet.
too.
All right, bet.
You know, Central America.
Central
Basically, like
America.
Central Americans. Yeah,
Okay.
they talk pretty fast Spanish.
They do.
Like they're the auction or something.
You're a hater. JK. But I have half Salvadorian cousins. We drink cola champagne. We grew up eating pupusas, like ensalada. One of my dearest friends that passed away was like family was from El Salvador. And, so it was, I don't know. Yeah. So I didn't really, and my dad, he's Guatemalan. So I grew up a lot around like here in Vermont, in LA, like where all like the Central Americans are at. So that's literally what I was accustomed to.
So that's why you were attracted to Mexicans.
No, it's not that. It's just like I didn't know that there was like division in between countries. It's so fucking ignorant of
I
mine.
know, bro. I see.
Sorry, I did not know my geography until I was a little older. Until I was in like
if
middle
you just look
school.
at brown people, you just think they're Mexican.
No, I used to
I mean,
look
that's
at
all of America, to be
Hispanics.
honest with you.
I
You know
looked at-
what though? It kind of goes for Asians too, bro. You look at Asians, you think that everyone's Chinese, but there's
No.
different kinds.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
There
you're
is
There's
right,
different
different
you're
kinds.
right,
No, but
you're
I want to
Vietnamese,
say.
right?
Yeah, you're
I want
right.
to say, for Hispanics, I thought they were all Central American because that's what I was exposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I didn't find out about Mexico until I went to TJ, and even TJ wasn't really like real Mexico to me, even though it's
I know,
Mexico.
low-key, it's Mexico, but it doesn't feel like it.
It
'cause it's,
doesn't feel
right
like
next
it.
to the border,
Because
bro.
why? I went to TJ to go eat tacos el Frank, tacos el Gordo. I used to go and get like Puerto Nuevo lobster. So it didn't feel like it was authentically Mexico. But you know what? I will say Mexico is a beautiful country.
Oh, it is.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I had the pleasure of being able to go to Cancun. I went to Tulum. And hopefully, if things go well next year, I'll be going to Mexico 3 different times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited for that. And I plan to take my children 2 out of those 3 times. Because that's their roots. Like, I want them to grow up knowing their culture. And, my love language is cooking. And I learned how to cook Mexican food for my ex for that purpose. Like, I learned how to make carnitas. I learned how to make tortillas hecha a mano, the rice. I learned a lot of their dishes. And
I like how you say there, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, yeah, my dishes. Those are good dishes.
well, I'm not Mexican.
I know, but I'm like, yeah, my dishes
I
are
am
pretty
Mexican
cool.
associated by dick,
Rice
essentially.
and beans go crazy, all right?
God.
Wait, what was it? What she said?
Nothing.
Say it.
Say it. I want to hear. I was talking
I
about rice
said-
and beans right now, and then all I heard was, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "What happened? What I miss?" They're
I
busting.
said I was Mexican associated by dick, essentially.
Oh damn, dog! Shit. That's true though. That's true though.
but
That's true.
Adriana can attest to my love language being food, and she knows.
Oh, I
that
thought you
I've
like
learned.
Mexicans too. I was like, all right.
Adriana
Okay.
is Mexican.
Do you have like a Do you have a preference, or is it like?
And you know what? It's so crazy because Adriana and I have been best friends since we were 15. And like, I don't know why I was so naive to understand that Adriana was Mexican until like later on in life.
I didn't grow up like
You're-
Mexican.
Yeah.
What part of your family from? What part of it?
My family, well, my mom's side is from like Baja,
Uh-huh.
like Ensenada, that area.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
And your dad's.
My dad's is from Michoacan, but I've never been.
I want to go to Michoacan.
I figured that one. Yeah, I figured
Because
it.
like
My
they have the
grandfather's from
monarch
Michoacan. Michoacan's
butterflies.
beautiful. They have like a little
I don't know,
ranch
I'm
style
really
there.
scared to go.
I would
Michoacan's
like to
nice.
go for like Dia de los Muertos because they have they have the monarch butterflies released. But my kids, their
forget that
paternal
one.
side comes from Michoacan, and that's why I learned how to make carnitas estilo Michoacan, which is so funny because one of my favorite cousin-in-law, Peter, shout out to Peter, I love you,
Peter,
Peter.
Shout out
if you're watching this,
Let me
Peter.
see your Peter.
Jenny's husband, he's Michoacan. Like his family's part from Michoacan and half something else. And I told him,
Michoacan.
I know. I heard that too. Yeah, yeah. I didn't
I
want to
don't know how
correct
to
it
say
though.
it. I know how to say it. Again, I don't know how to
He's
say
mucho
it.
canon.
Yeah, muy michoacano, señor.
And Peter, I told Peter, I know how to make carnitas estilo Michoacan. And he was like, you're lying. He asked me for my ingredient list. And I told him, yeah, this is what I put. And he's like, oh, you do know. You know what you're doing. And I was like, yeah, duh. Shout out to Peter. I love you, Peter. He's my favorite
Shout out to
cousin-in-law.
Peter.
Shout out
But
to
yeah,
Peter.
I always hear
Miss you,
about
Peter.
Jackie's cooking, though. Jackie's always talking about everyone.
Okay, if you don't believe me, ask.
No, I
my
believe it
friend.
though. I believe it though, because you're the homegirl that wants to come on, that didn't come on, that we have different views on. That's more than welcome to come on. What's it called? Yeah, she posted that you guys you cooked for them and stuff like that.
Oh, last Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I seen it. I was like, and with Bao too, you guys would always cook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd be
so-
in the kitchen all the time.
Yeah, Bao can cook too though.
Oh, Bao gets down in the kitchen.
Bro, she gets down, bro.
She gets down.
Mhm. Some of the stuff she be posting still, I'm like, damn, come back,
Dude,
bro.
but you
What's
know what?
that?
Bao be doing the healthiest shit too. I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
bro.
Bao.
And it looked good though.
Let me get
It
that
tastes
greasy
good.
fat
Damn.
shit.
Damn.
It tastes so good.
Shout out to
Should-
Bao. Woo, woo.
But yes. So that's my point of view. I even learned how to make horchata, strawberry tarta, jamaica, all that other stuff. So
Damn.
I learned a
Kind
lot.
of hungry now, bro.
You hear that, fellas? She has all
So
the
Jackie's
traits.
Instagram
No.
will be posted in
Oh.
the description. She's already flooded, but go ahead and make it the ocean. All right. So as you guys can see, she comes with two beautiful daughters, right? Two daughters, right? And she
Is
knows
this
how
a
to
game show?
cook. And
I'm just gonna let you know my time is limited. So if I don't respond, sorry.
Oh, if you're one of those guys that just
That you need all the time. Yeah,
yeah, no,
TGs.
yeah,
I am so limited. Like
it'd be like
It's
that.
crazy.
Though. It'd be like that.
Well, I mean, it's like that with every parent, every single parent. Like,
Yeah.
Because your focus is on your kids.
Yeah, kids always come
and
first.
your
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
So yeah,
I feel like at this point in life, like it's crazy because these are the times in life that these memories are for me. Because my kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna be like, I don't know what I did at 4, because I don't remember.
Backtracking. You said that kids will remember this Disney trip when they're
Well,
little.
his kid was older.
Oh, okay.
But my kids know about
I was looking
Disney.
out for y'all. I knew you were going to
My
say
kids know Disney though. Like you can ask Daniela and Valentina, and they'll be like, "I'm going to Mickey Mouse." They know it. My kid is 4. She's so sassy. I love her. But she always talks about how she's going to go see Mickey Mouse. This year for Christmas. Okay, backtrack. For Halloween, my mom got her animatronics, the Sally and Jack 6 feet tall animatronics.
that. Oh, I do remember you were telling us that.
And
last time,
then we also got Victor and Emily from the Corpse Bride. And we put Victor and Emily away. And she was kind of like all like raging, like, where's Emily? That's my friend. And it was like, okay, bro, like relax.
Like, calm down.
And we left Jack and Sally out. And she's like, that's my Sally, whatever. My tree is already up, Nightmare Before Christmas. And then I decorated the entire house already.
Shit gets me hot, bro. Like, do we fucking just skip Thanksgiving?
No, we're still gonna have dinner.
We just skip Thanksgiving.
What do you want me to do,
As
put a
soon as
turkey
October is
somewhere?
over, bro. As soon as Halloween's done, everyone goes
just go.
Christmas. I'm like, bro, no, it's not.
Gordon?
Tamales season is coming
yeah,
in.
gobble gobble.
Gordon said that on Thanksgiving, all we do is eat.
Hey, bro, do you want to get evicted, homie?
That's
You
not
want to get evicted,
Gordon.
bro?
That is Gordon.
What's his name, Martin?
Gordon.
No, I have to remember. I
He
know
can't remember. How is he going to have custody over something he can't remember?
know.
Well, listen. I know my kid's name.
Hangs out with him all the time.
So, yeah. So, that's pretty much,
Well, I mean, I
So-
guess if you look at it like that.
So, were you, your DMs were popping with the video?
Yeah, my DMs were actually popping with the video. I was kind of.
Jesus. Okay,
I-
okay, conceited much.
I look. I'm gonna tell you right now. I already knew my DMs were gonna pop, right?
Yeah.
I even got a phone call, so I was just
I got a
kind of
phone
like,
call too.
okay. Out of respect, I answered. Had a simple
it was
conversation.
Budweiser, wasn't it?
Well, I had a simple conversation.
Sephora?
I have to make sure that your voice is heard and you express yourself how you feel because it's your story. I made the option to accommodate if someone wanted to come on and rebuke anything you said and say, well, this is not factual. This is. Haven't got back anything there. So I mean, I did my part. But
Right.
my DMs were popping, and I have screenshots, and then everything in those screenshots were unsent. So I don't know. I'm not trying to start some shit. I'm not trying to be devil's advocate, but my DMs were a little busy. But I mean, also too, the commentary and all that stuff. People just talk mad shit and stuff like that. But how? Let me ask you, because you already know this question's gonna come. So you already know it's gonna come. But how do you feel when people say like, well, what if she's a petty baby mom? She just wants to say this just to say it. And what if there's no truth to it, right? But I remember you did say you could back it up. You have freaking your BFF that could back it up. You yourself, you could back it up. But when people say, well, she's just a petty baby mama, what do you say to that?
Well, I mean, I know everyone's going to say, oh, that's a bitter baby mama. That's a petty baby mama. But it's like, if I was going to be bitter, then why did I leave my relationship? If I am petty, why did I have to get out? Like, why did I have to be strong for my kids and know that at the end of the day, my kids are going to grow up and ask, like, what happened? Why couldn't you hold my family together? Whether they resent me for it or love me for it, I don't know. That's a choice I'm living with every day, and I'm going to face when that time comes because my kids are going to ask. Like, we don't have a dad, you know? And it's like, no, you do have a dad, but you don't have, like, a family united, and that's something different, you know? Because, honestly, I wouldn't get on the podcast. I wouldn't put my face behind something that it's not factual. And you know that, and so you know me.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
You know, I'm a very straightforward person. I'm very honest.
Open book.
Open book about everything in my life. Like, you could ask me something and I would answer it with 100% certainty and honesty. And that's the reality, is that that's something I lived, and that's something that you can't downplay, because had things escalated within time, within years, like, he had guns, he has a CCW, like, how do I know one day he wasn't going to flip those guns on me?
Right on. There's
And,
something
you
to be
know,
said there. Yeah.
it was a lot of psychological breakdown, and there was a lot of financial, you know.
Issues there as well.
No, it wasn't the financial issue. It was the financial controlling part. Like, he had his own bank account. I couldn't have my own bank account.
Yeah, I remember you
Lord
telling us that.
forbid I had my own bank account. I had to have a joint account. And when I finally got smart and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be in this relationship for long, I went and I opened my own Citibank account.
In secrecy.
Yeah, because I was working in Long Beach, and at the first floor they had a Citibank, and I had all my checks direct deposited there, and I had all my stuff there. And he would call me when he found out that I wasn't getting direct deposited in Chase anymore. He'd call me and he'd be like, "Where's the money out? Like, where's your money coming at?" And I was like, "What?" And then he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I opened it because I wanted to make this man grow. He's Mexican, right? Or background Mexican." Citibank has Citibank Mexico. So I had told him, I was like, get your dual citizenship and we'll buy property. And then with Citibank, we already have a relationship going there. So eventually when we get ready to buy a nice property with your dual citizenship, and my children are going to inherit that dual citizenship, so then we can get a nice condo by the beach. We can get a beach house in Mexico for cheap. And we can do that. And when we do that, we can put the girls, like my children, as co-signers in that terreno or whatever. And I was trying to make him grow. And I told him that. I was like, that's why I need the city account. But for me to do that, I need to manage the money. You can't do it. You haven't been able to do it these past years. So I need to do it. And he was kind of like settled on it for a minute. But then he was like, add me on the account. Add me on the account. Why am I not added on the account? He'd call Citibank and wait until he was able to get a person or an operator, and then call me to merge the calls for me to authorize it. And that's how it was a lot of the time.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
some form of that's actually domestic violence as well. That's financial abuse.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
like,
that's actually a real thing. That he would have got in trouble for domestic violence on that.
yeah. And then I remember when I went to
Still
court.
learning. I'm still learning all the.
There's
like
there's
7 of them.
forms.
There's a lot.
There's
yeah.
financial abuse. There's obviously
Psychological.
psychological. There's verbal. There's
Yeah.
there's like about like 8 of them, I believe. Spiritual, cultural.
Screenshot that and send it to me so I can post it up.
So there's a lot of different
Thank you.
types of domestic violence, and I was really ignorant to it, because to me domestic violence was like, you get hit and that's TV and that's it.
That's what I thought.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, like, you know, I learned life is short with my aunt and uncle passing. And then that's when my uncle from the ER told my parents. I had my friend, the one that I told you that was going to come with me today. She even said, like, that guy's going to kill my daughter. One of my friends
did see her. Yeah,
that
yeah, she
is
said that,
in
yeah.
law enforcement would say, too, like, she's going to end up murdered if she doesn't get out.
Yeah.
Because he was, I don't want to say he was crazy, but he was like,
Controlling.
yes. And I will never forget when I attempted to put a restraining order in court, and he literally picked me up that day, and he took me to court. And he's like, "You're gonna drop this, or there will be consequences." And I was like, and I stood before the judge next to him, dropping that restraining order and just thinking like fuck, dude. Like, I'm never gonna escape this. Like, I'm never gonna be able to get out of this. And I'm gonna deal with this for the rest of my life, because my kids, it doesn't end when they turn 18. They're gonna get married one day and he's gonna be there. And I didn't want to miss those parts of my kid's life. Like, what if things really did get out of hand and he really did, like, murder me one day? I didn't want those things to, like, my kids are going to grow up. They're going to grow up without a mom or dad, or, like, their mom being present in any of those things. And that was my fear. That was, like, my biggest fear in that entire relationship, was that I was not going to be able to see my kids graduate or get married or move forward in life. And I know I did everything I could to salvage that relationship, and I couldn't do it anymore. I really couldn't just, like, sit there and take it anymore, because I knew that it was going to end in a disaster at some point, and I just didn't want to put my kids through that. And it's so emotional, because a lot of women experience this, and a lot of women were in my DMs talking about how they were like, I went through this, my baby daddy's a narcissist. Like, a lot of girls showed so much support, and I'm thankful that I was able to, like, be, like, a safe space for women who have gone through this and are now able to speak up and be like, this made me feel better because I'm not alone. And that's something that I'm very thankful that you gave me a platform to be able to expose, like, and, like, maybe help women get out of it a lot sooner than what it could be. And that's something that I'm very thankful for, like, the platform, for the opportunity to speak up on it, for me being able to get up here and, like, talk to people through, like, a video and let them know, like, this is what I endure, and, like, you don't have to endure this. And again, I'm thankful for the support system. Like, I'm thankful for my best friend Adriana. Bao was there, my friend Corina was there, my family was there. And, like, I know you've, like, heard about it with Bao. And, like, a lot of his family, like, I had a couple of his cousins would even reach out and tell me, like, if you leave him, like, you did everything you could to save that, and he didn't know how to appreciate it. I have, like, one of his tias that, like, has talked to me and told me, like, I'm so sorry on my nephew's behavior, that he couldn't, like, salvage his family. And I remember, like, the threats. He'd be like, this is my second family. If you don't like it, you're gonna make it work, because I'm not gonna look like I can't have a family. And I remember, like, feeling stuck, and I couldn't go to my mom, because I knew that if I went to my mom, like, that finalized it. Like, that was it. Like, it was only going to be a matter of time before my mom had to take action. And I didn't want to do that, because then, like, he may tell the story later on, like, oh, it was your grandma, when that wasn't the case, you know? And what if my kids resent my parents for that in the future?
I can see that.
And that's exactly why I never involved anybody. I kept quiet. I held it in. Like, I didn't say anything. We even tried couples therapy, because I just needed to get out. And I wanted to give every fighting chance I could. And that is exactly why, through my private insurance, I had his children on my private insurance. And, you know, I took care of his children. And I put us in couples therapy, because maybe that would open his eyes to fixing our, like, relationship problems, and it didn't. So,
Well, I'll give you a lot of credit for everything that you've done, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that, obviously. I'm happy that you came on here and you expressed everything, because obviously there's going to be someone out there that's going to see this and potentially help them out. Maybe even open their eyes and realize, okay, these are the steps that I need to do, maybe do some research or whatever the case may be. I just like watching you cry. It really did. Because I'm a little emotional guy, too. So, like, I wanted to cry with you, but I'm sucking it up. Because I'm not going to let the internet see me cry. All right? But
the internet saw me cry today.
Yeah, the internet saw me cry. I'm not going to cry. No, but I'm just saying that just with all jokes, just to line up the mood, obviously. But it really does suck that you guys had to go through that. Obviously, it's not just you. It's the kids. It's his kids. It's the family and everything like that. Everyone involved have to... That's what a lot of people forget, that it's not just two people, it's everyone surrounding too, because everyone's invested at some point. So I'm really proud of you for doing what you had to do for your kids and even his kids. And, I appreciate you saying something nice about him. I'm trying to be chill here. I'm not trying to be the podcast where you just come out here and drag motherfuckers. And I'm like, hey, don't come at me. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm very happy that you fucking expressed yourself. You allowed yourself to be really, really cool and really give the people your real self, because there's people that have put up, come out here, put up a front and stuff like that. So I'm happy that you were able to feel comfortable with that. And I appreciate you. I really do. I can't say that enough. And I think that's a good place to end it. There's not going to be a part 3. Don't expect the part 3. All right. This is part 2. So if you haven't watched the first one, watch the first one. And if you've watched the video all the way through to now, do me a favor, give Jackie a follow, please. If you want to say some nice words to her, go ahead. If you want to say some mean words, go ahead and send them to me. I appreciate it.
Or me.
Or Martin. I'll make sure Martin's in there as well.
Yeah, I like
I'm going to
Martin.
put on there, send mean things to me and Martin. But yeah, guys, I truly do appreciate you guys for sticking out this whole freaking video. I know at some points we went off on some tangents, but again, I'm going to end it and say if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell because it really does help out the channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye.